private buyers are still avoiding the showrooms. Although overall sales of the new N registrations are slightly up on last year, that's mainly due to company car sales. Coventry-based Jaguar has reported good results, but the Midlands' biggest car manufacturer, Rover, has seen its sales and market share fall.
Edwards of Stratford-upon-Avon is an honest dealership. It admits that until August, trade was running 20% below last year. By August last year, Rover had sold 176,000 vehicles in Britain. By August this year, the total only stood at just over 160,000, a fall of 9%. Also, Rover's share of the market has shrunk from over 12 to 11%. On top of this, sales in Europe have fallen. But if Rover is no longer a volume player, what has it got left to compete with? Brand name and quality. It's been working on the Rover image for some years now and has enhanced Land Rover and has reintroduced the MG mark. But observers say it's not moving fast enough on quality. Rover is still firmly in the black, but nearly all the profit is generated by Land Rover, the only part it suggested BMW wanted when it bought the company last year. It won't allow the cars side to continue to leak cash, and insiders forecast management changes if sales fail to improve, with the newcomers hailing from Munich.
West Midlands Police have charged the former manager of a Birmingham hostel, who's already facing 2 charges of murdering elderly residents, with 4 additional offences of assault. They allege George Britton committed the assaults at Summerhill Hostel in Ladywood. He'll appear before Birmingham magistrates again tomorrow morning. Parents in Staffordshire have formed an action group in protest at the dramatic rise in class sizes in the county state schools this term. They're challenging the Education Secretary's claim that children's education isn't harmed by large classes.
Staffordshire has the highest teacher-pupil ratio in the country, and at £1,000 each year, the least money spent on each child. This class at St Werburgh's Primary School in Kingsley is one of the biggest in the county, with 38 children, and teachers say their education is suffering.
Children, of course, get far less attention from the teacher. They have to wait longer before they can be seen by the teacher. If it's a case of some sort of science or technology activity that's going on, you have to make the groups larger than you would really want them to be.
This petition, launched by the Save Our Schools group, will be sent to all Staffordshire schools this week. The county faced cuts of over £6 million to its school budgets this year. Next year, the council says the cuts could be as great as £10 million. Pressure's now mounting on the Education Secretary Gillian Shepherd to persuade the Treasury to release more money for schools.
And one football result for you tonight. In the Ensley League Division 2, Burnley 1, Walsall 1. Well, that's our news tonight. Now the weather forecast with John Ketley. Good night.
Good evening to you. A different complexion to the weather now. We've seen a belt of rain moving up from the southwest during the afternoon and evening. That rain band now extending across into central Wales, round about the Birmingham area, and across through London into Essex. It's raining quite steadily, for example, over at Wembley Stadium just now. A few showers further north across the southern uplands and also across the far north of Scotland. Could be some heavy ones there in the next few hours as well. But this band of rain in the south is going to continue making progress northward. Some heavy bursts mixed in too, across into parts of Northern Ireland, the rest of Northern England, and also up into southern Scotland by breakfast time tomorrow. At least temperatures in the south, despite all this wind and rain, will be pretty high at 12 to 15 degrees, rather lower across the north, nearer 8 to 10 degrees there. Well, that's the weather system that's bringing all this wind and rain, and it's still going to be around for the next 2 or 3 days as well. We'll find that band of rain moving northwards ahead of it. The low itself, the centre, will begin to make progress eastwards through the English Channel during Thursday. The strongest winds then across the extreme south of England, gales or severe gale force winds at times. That means to say winds gusting 50, 60, possibly even 70 miles an hour across the headlands, and you can see the switch in the wind direction in the far southwest come tomorrow evening. So tomorrow then, starting off fairly bright in many areas, but there will be a cluster of showers across the south, maybe another wetter spell coming into southwest England fairly quickly in the morning, driven on by that gale force wind. Outbreaks of rain across northern England, southern Scotland and Northern Ireland, pushing further north across the rest of Scotland as we go into the afternoon, and then brighter showery weather following on. The showers may well merge to give some longer spells of rain, and there'll be some heavy bursts once again with the odd crack of thunder. But certainly a windy day in most parts of the country, especially down here across the south, and temperatures of 20 degrees could be rather academic. Well, there's the low pressure as we go into the weekend. It'll still be around, drifting further north. At least the isobars will open out a bit, so the winds eventually will become somewhat less. Now we're going to find a crop of showers across the whole country on Friday. Not too much sunshine around, but certainly some heavy rain, again with some thunderstorms. Perhaps rather fewer showers drifting in from the southwest once we get through to Saturday. And that's it from me.
New drama for BBC1.
I want backup from you, not back chat.
Go behind the headlines with a team that do the dirty work.
We're in here because there might be a dead girl's body buried under the floor. Do you understand that?
Witness the personal pressures.
You're in love with the job. That's all you ever cared about.
And the private tragedies.
She's dead and she's there on that farm. I know it.
With the 9 men and women who are always there in a crisis. And who are the backup. Tomorrow, 9:30 on BBC1.
Highlights of the friendly between England and Colombia, plus Scotland, Wales and the Republic of Ireland, all in action. Sportsnight in half an hour.
Which of these scenes best describes a way of life loved by millions and best embodies the country you know and love? The new Frank Skinner Show, Sunday night at 10:30 on BBC1. It's already a tradition.
Handsome comedy with two heads now on BBC1. Falling into the autumn season, they're back with new skits, new songs, but the same old suits.